2.
And there we are.
All right.
Just like that.
I am so excited to be here.
Back again.
Back again. Real quick, though.
You guys, there's a lot that has changed. There's a lot that has been upgraded. Only one thing has remained the same, is that we both still here and that we both will not stop until we get to where we want. And I'm sure that when we get there, we're just going to continue to keep going. Look at my smile on my face. Big Sis is here again.
You know what? I am so proud of you. I am just in awe of where you are today. The first question I have, because I got to ask, how long has it been since you started your podcast?
So I started my podcast 10 years ago. Black Truffle TV was an idea 10 years ago, and now it's more than a reality.
So why Black Truffle?
See, nobody's ever asked me that question. So I was at Saddle Ranch. So all my 714 babies, y'all know where it's at the block. You ride the mechanical bull and you eat the cotton candy. I was looking at the menu and there was black truffle, I think it was black truffle mac and cheese or black truffle fries. And I was like, that's going to be my name, Black Truffle. And it just clicked and it sticked.
Well, congratulations. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Beyond impressed with your new studio. It is quite the
everything is new. Everything is new.
This is amazing. Don't aspire to be the best on the team. Aspire to be the best for the team.
Yeah,
that's inspiring.
And it's funny because when me and Tina were looking for places to live, we looked everywhere. But the second that we walked onto the street, it said, "Welcome to your new home." And then after time and effort and headache and stress, there's another message right here that literally embodies what I stand for.
Wow.
It's the universe be universing.
But you know what? I think you have had a vision from day one. And I think that's what makes it different. People can think about it, dream about it, but the reality is you have to, move forward. You've moved forward and made it happen. You made that reality into something, the dream into a reality is really what I'm saying, and it's impressive. And I'm happy to be here. I am so proud of my little brother here doing this thing, and this is a small town, and you've made Oxnard your home. It was Ventura, right? What was 714?
From Santa Ana to Ventura, and now to Oxnard.
It's all the Ventura County.
I'll never forget. You gave me a few breaks. You gave me more than a few breaks. There has been a couple times where I would go just to support, strictly to support. I'd fade into the background. And next thing I know, I'm being called to the microphone. I'm getting shouted out on the big stages. We're doing levity shows. We're doing what? What's the spot that I like? It had the crazy name like a Tribe Called Quest. The Haven at White Sales.
Oh, the Haven! Oh my God!
I
missed that place. That was a great venue.
I got to meet other people that give me opportunities because of Big Sis. I got to do interviews with Sade Champagne. You guys know how I get down. I got a bracelet on as we speak. I've got to do things with Miss Salinette. Y'all know who she is. She's all over the radio. She's going to get the key to Oxnard one of these days. And it's just your network. And you allow me to use it.
You know what? It's just not that. I remember we were at the wine place in Ventura, and you said, "Oh, I didn't know you had never met Phil, and you had never met Bit Citric." And you guys met.
Shout out
next
to
thing
them.
you know, you were on stage.
On stage with them. My first, well, it wasn't my first. It was just a show that I was a part of. Sold out 3 shows at Levity Live, and that anybody has been able to bless that microphone, including ourselves.
Yes.
A big shout out to you, Phil. Big Citric, thank you again for pulling up and doing this. We got to get you, Phil. We got to get you. I'm going to get you one of these days. I know he's busy.
He is busy. I'm so impressed with him. He actually produced my first show. He's producing my podcast.
Yeah, we got a podcast.
I'm excited because it's something Wills and I are doing together. You know, often it's usually myself and other comics in the community. This I'm doing with my husband. It's a project that we've talked about for 2 years, and we finally have got it to. You know, it came to fruition on Tuesday. We launched it yesterday, and I'm still in the process trying to make sure I got it together. But people have called me. I haven't had a lot of views, but I've had at least 10 people say they loved it, keep going, and that to me tells me I'm on the right track. And I'm happy with that. There was really no script. We sat down.
That's the best part.
And we just started talking. I actually had some notes, and he was like, I was hoarding the notes, but really, I really wanted people to know a little bit more about Wills because he never really is in the limelight. He likes to be behind the scene, but he's such a big help. You know,
just like Tina.
People have no idea the time and the sacrifices that he goes through just to make me look good, and I am grateful.
So with that being said, because Tina is the same way, you can have all that. I just want to be here, and thank you. Like, more than appreciate her for that. So how did you get Wills to finally like come out of his shell a little bit so I can use the same tactic on Tina?
So that is a good question. So what I'm going to tell you, I'll be honest with you. I said, man, I'm looking at all these people doing podcasts and making money. I said, I talk for a living, but people know what I'm talking about because I'm online every day talking about something positive.
Right.
I said, but you know what would be really unique? If we can get you behind the microphone and get you to ask questions, because he writes comedy. He's got a point of view that's fierce, and we're going to get him out of his shell, and he's going to talk about things that may make people feel uncomfortable because he talks about it every day. I was looking at something yesterday. Did you know people were stealing fire hydrants? I saw that on the news.
No, is there copper in there or something? Why are they stealing fire hydrants?
They're selling the metal. And I was like, okay, these are the things that he sees on the news that I don't see, that to me are things that you should bring up. Do you know if you take all the fire hydrants out of the area and we get a wind gust and we got those fires, we got a problem.
Yeah. Big time.
So that's how I get it. I started telling them that if we get enough followers, you can monetize and make money. We get some advertisers and we can make some money. And then he looked at me and he's like, really? I said, yeah. So that's how I got it. I told him, I said, it's something you can do from the kitchen table and you can make some money doing it. That's kind of where it started.
There is a general consensus. There is always that one general idea that the public would agree with. But what makes you unique is that tiny bit of pushback to make people go, wait, what? And there's your content right there.
But, you know, I think I thought about what was going on in the world, the news, right? We talked about sports. We talked a little bit about politics. We talked a little bit about his upbringing and about family and kids and grandkids. I just tried to be, just because I wasn't really sure where he wanted to go. And I generally felt that he felt comfortable. He felt like it was personal, but he was able to get it out and be okay with it.
That's the best part.
That is, he said it was, to take him back to where he's been, it was nostalgic. I was like, wow. Look at you using big words. But I was really proud of him for being able to share his story.
That's a skill. I'm starting to learn that. That's a skill to get somebody to do.
You know, I think as comics, I'm watching and listening. It's all about the story. People want to know your story. They don't care about all the other things. They want to know who you are and where you come from. I listened to a podcast, and I think it was Kevin Hart. He was talking about how he thought, oh, I got on stage, I killed. And somebody told him, don't nobody care. They don't even know anything about you. So he missed that point. And
got it.
I went to this show. I saw Jerry Rocha at Rubicon Theater last Saturday. I got to give a shout out to Marcel Brinkley from Oxnard High School. He invited me and Will's, but Will's wasn't available, so I took a friend. And Jerry Rocha his show is called Cancer Culture, cancel culture, but cancer culture.
Yeah.
And it was
It's clever.
deep. Oh, it was deep. You never really know what someone's going through until you sit and listen to the story. And there were high points, low points. He had us laughing. He had us crying. He had us laughing. He had us crying. And at the end of the day, we were all rooting for him. And it was a compelling story. And it's so relevant right now where we are. I was in awe of what his point of view, his story. And I said, when I think about getting on stage and what I want to talk about, you got to keep it real. You got to tell the story. Marcel Brinkley told me, he said, the last show you did at Levity, he said, you talked about your dad. You talked about the $10 hookers. You talked about all the things. I never talked about it before because I didn't think it was relevant, but that's part of my history.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I never told anybody I had a kid at 15, and I used to catch the bus and take her to teen mother school. And I caught the bus on a street called Teakwood, and I named her Tika. And that's really where this is the truth.
Yeah.
But I'm just there's a lot of truth behind. The truth is what I think makes the story so. And when you can embellish them and build them up and twist and turn, it just makes the comedy a lot more cleaner, fresher.
I'm still learning.
Me too.
I'm still learning how to get up there like that.
But that story you told, I'll never forget the story you going to the barbecue with your in-laws.
Oh, yeah.
That one, Wills and I talked about that story for weeks. And I think, I'm watching comedians. They get a story and they're trying to work on it. And sometimes it may take them a year to get it right. I let so many stories go. One day, there was a story, an encounter that I had. And I saw a guy get on stage and tell the exact same story. And I was like, that's my story.
No spin or nothing?
That's my story. The story, I went back to the YouTube video that I taped in 2012.
Uh-oh.
And
Yeah,
I saw the story. And
that.
I said, okay, he changed it a little bit. Instead of having 6 men and 6 women come into the emergency room, I had men come into, doctors come into the emergency room, but he said it was 6 women. But it was interesting. But I worked on that story and I went back to see, did I do a show with this guy? And I did do a show with this guy. And that's okay because I can still tell the same story because that show is still published on YouTube.
So with that being said, right? Because, George Lopez, he kind of changed my perspective. Instead of thinking like he took my joke or she stole my joke. If you're going to take my joke, at least do it better than me. Do you feel like that? Or
well, he did do it. He punched up jokes. And so what he told me, because, I said, so you punch up jokes? He said, yes. And I said, can I get your phone number? And he gave me his phone number. And I called him, and he's never called me back. And that's okay. I'll call him again. Maybe he was busy.
Maybe. Yeah, gotta get benefit of the
because
doubt.
if people pay people to punch up jokes, and I was like, I wanted to talk about the joke, but we never talked about it.
So I got to experience that too. Do you remember when Mike came to town? Mike Epps came to town.
Yes, I opened up for him.
Yes. So the friend of mine, right? The other guy, Stacy.
Oh my God,
that's a good friend of mine.
Because Stacy got caught in traffic, Denise Carter got the feature.
Hey, thank you, Stace.
Thank you, Stacy.
Come on, Stace.
Thank you, Stacy.
Hey, Stace, come on, man. I got him booked for a show in July, but so after that show, he came over to my house, and
you did his podcast.
I haven't. Not yet. He hasn't been up here yet.
Oh, okay. I thought he went to your house after that show that night.
Yeah,
okay.
But that was just to kick it. Yeah.
Okay,
so
okay.
I showed him both Levity sets, and for him to watch it and then make it way funnier than what I had it, like me and Tina was on that couch dying.
Wow.
And he was and all he told me, he was like, look, you have a clean set. Like, it's clean. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I can't put that on TV. Like, I'm cussing. He's all like, Yeah, you cussing, but you're not cussing though. You're cursing. You're not cussing. If you cuss a little bit more and add a little, you already got the sauce. Now all you got to do is sprinkle the seasoning on top of it, like just extra it out a little bit, and then you'll have them. You'll have them rolling. Because the way me and Tina was on that couch after he like word for word recited one of my jokes, it was. I got to. He punched it up.
So what do you think? Are you going to do the set the way he did it? Or is that, I'm curious.
I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna go to an open mic and I'm gonna give it a try.
Are you still going to Gigi's on Wednesdays?
Every now and again.
I don't
try
go
to.
as I need to go because I haven't been on stage in about a month, I think. Oh, actually, you know what? I did Blackbird Diner about 3 weeks ago, and so I try to stay on. I try to stay relevant, and people, like, hey, where are you going to be? I said, I don't have anything, so I need to actually submit my information out there and email and get some things out there because I've been doing some private parties.
So this is my thing right now. Yeah, I'll still go to Gigi's. I do check out the sewer. They got a new mic over there. Every now and again, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll go to the Blue Owl. Out of all the open mics that I've been to, it feels, and this could just be me, but it feels like it's getting harder to find an open mic that feels like a show.
I feel like that's probably one of the reasons why I don't go, because I feel like sometimes I go and I don't think my set is working because nobody's laughing or it's just quiet. And you're like, okay, I could do this with a pillow at home. Like I could talk to the pillow over here and get the same response. And I think that's why. But what I've learned from listening to the greats is you got to get up. It doesn't matter if anybody laughs or not. It's not for them, it's for you.
Right.
And so that's where, I said, wow, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and these guys are working hard. Even Kevin Hart will tell you, get on. You got to get up. Don't go a week without getting up. That's it. I remember I did a show with a guy, his name was Benny, in San Diego. He had been on vacation. He's like, I haven't been up in about 3 weeks. And I was like, wow, well, and he got on and killed. But he made me feel like I understand what he felt like. It's like if you don't get up on a regular basis, you have that, it's a little weird feeling, but you get over it as you start going. Because I don't know it's not a jitter, but what it does is you remind yourself, you know what, I should have been on stage last week before I did this cold.
See, and I'm starting to feel that right now because I didn't go, today's Thursday, this is going to come out way after this, but I didn't go up last night. I didn't go up the night before, and then I'm not going up tonight. This is when I got back into it after not being able to do it because of the move and getting, school stuff situated. But the week before, yeah, it felt amazing when I got up there. Like I killed.
Are you going? There's a mic. Stacy told me about it. Well, actually, I don't know if it was Stacy that told. Yeah, Stacy told me about it. The LA Comedy School.
I don't think I heard about LA Comedy
You pay
School.
$5 for 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of like Flashback. That's kind of like what Precious does.
Okay. Is that what it's called, Flashback?
It might be Flashback.
But this was in LA. It wasn't hers because I knew they're in Van Nuys or somewhere. I
Right.
just haven't been there. But I'd love to go. When you have a job and you got to get up and go to work,
Yep.
It's hard to go up and stay up till
Yes, it
11 or
is.
12 o'clock and get home at 1 and then do, everything.
Yep.
That's why. So there's a couple of restaurants that had reached out to do a mic in, necessarily a comedy show. And I need to reach back to them. I just didn't want to commit. It's hard when you have to commit to making it happen. And I experienced that even though it was once a month at the Haven, it's difficult to get people to commit because life gets in the way. So, I didn't want to be that person, but I do have some comics that I was like, well, if you hosted this week, and somebody hosted, it would be different because then it's not so much pressure on the one person because I have a full-time job.
That makes sense.
So that's something I wanted to talk to this restaurant owner about, but I just hadn't got back to it just because I have been just kind of working on my podcast.
Hey, well, you got all the help right here you can get.
Well, I appreciate that.
Well,
I
shit
appreciate
for
that.
that.
I'm super super excited about, the Juneteenth that's coming
There
up.
we go. I was just about to get into that.
So the Juneteenth is coming up on. I'm extremely grateful to be the MC this year, and this is the 33rd annual Juneteenth celebration.
Where is this at?
It's at Oxnard. It's downtown Oxnard at the Plaza Park, and I was born and raised in Oxnard, right? So that's like family. My father
Yeah,
used
that's
to go
only right.
to the cleaners, American Cleaners, right across the street, and so that Plaza Park is history. It's so much history there. I mean, they're going to have vendors, food vendors out there. They're going to have a blood drive. So you can go if you want to get your blood. If you really want to donate blood, you can donate blood, but I think you got to register for it. A matter of fact, in the next 7 days, well, I guess, yeah, next 7 days, we'll be really going hot and heavy to try to promote and get more people out
Of
there.
course.
I know
Okay.
Julius is going to be out there real quick, though.
Hey,
Let's give a plug.
I'm gonna be there. Hey, I'm gonna
out
be there.
I think anybody who's ever aspired to hold a mic and be on TV, right? Why not interview it real quick though? Sit down, ask a question.
I'm trying to tell y'all. Hey, and another thing too, man. Thank you for everybody. This past week, no, this is Tina's stepson. He was on here. He was on here a couple nights ago, and then a couple nights ago before that. He suffers from depression and PTSD. This kid he's not a kid. I shouldn't say
How old
this
is he?
young man. I want to say he's 22.
Okay.
And he has had a life, a hard one. And for him to come on here, he actually ran to, hey, you signed up for the podcast? Yeah, I'm about to do a music review. Can you mind if no, please, come on. Anything I can do for him, I'll do it just because of everything that he's been through. He needs that, he needs that. He came up here and he just let it all out. He went upstairs and Tina told me, he said, I'm going to do it again. I love it. I brought him back, and again, he spilled his heart out. He did everything he needed to do. He said everything he wanted to say his way, and people are flocking to it now.
Wow, I
They're
can't wait to
flocking
watch
to
it.
now.
Is it up?
Yeah, it's out. So one of them came out today. Actually, today's Thursday. One of them came out today, and then another one of his is gonna come out next Thursday.
So what's it? Does he have a specific? Is it just you interviewing him, or is it a show about him, or is it what episode is it?
So he has episode 84 and 85.
All
and
right, episode 84 and 85.
we
I am going
doing
to
it.
share that.
It's a little rough. He be cussing. He young, and
That's
he
all right.
there's a
I
lot of
like
pain.
that. So I've got a daughter. She lives in Texas. She loves to listen to podcasts. She told me that today, and I said, "Oh, so to me, she had gone through some depression and some anxiety, and right now, I think anyone who could relate to someone who's going through that, I think that's where the story is. Because if you think
Yes.
about what's going on with our youth, they're all suffering.
Yes.
They're not in the world that we were brought up in. There was no cell phone.
No.
There was no distraction. We was outside playing till the lights came on,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to get in the house, eat, take a bath, go to bed, do your homework, be ready.
Yep.
All this other stuff, I mean, you didn't have to worry about a drive-by shooting. You didn't have to worry about none of that because nobody was doing that. Not in the era that I grew up in. Now, it's different.
It's different.
It's
a lot
different. I mean, today, Wills was telling me that the cops were on the block when he came home, and they wanted to see our cameras to see if we saw a drive-by shooting. I said, in this neighborhood? But you know what? It's everywhere. But I digress.
Look,
I don't know
hey,
how we
if
got
Drake's
there.
house can get shot up, don't think you exempt.
You're right.
That's.
You're right.
But yeah, for anybody that's going through it, just the way he said it, you can feel it, and I'm really, really, really proud of him because
He shared it.
he makes music, and now he found a way to get his music out. And I told him, once people see you on a consistent basis, they're gonna know that you're serious about it, and they're gonna attract to you, and they're gonna know you for that instead of knowing you for whatever else that you did.
Wow.
You know?
But you know what? Episode 84 and 85?
84 and 85.
Well, I can't wait to listen. I'm going to listen. And I got a little platform. I think I got about 4,000 people on my little Facebook. Instagram, I don't have that many, but I'm trying to learn how to add more followers. And I have no problem sharing anybody's content because
I got you off mic.
You know, somebody shared mine with somebody one day, and I will definitely share it. But getting back to the Juneteenth,
yep.
So we're gonna have this. We're gonna have this tent with Julius, and he is going to be streaming live and interviewing folks, and I guess doing commercials and all that. I think to me, if you got a city that's promoting something so annually, an annual celebration of something that we didn't celebrate as much, now that it's a national holiday, man, please. You know, there's a guy, he has a hot dog cart. I'd love to know his story.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing. I say this all the time.
Why would you do this?
Everybody has a story.
I've got a friend of mine, they have a booth, they're gonna do they're selling something, candy, water, something. And I was like, I wonder why they did that and not did food. But I understand, it's a lot of work. I had a booth at the Jazz Festival a couple years back. I didn't want to have to worry about nothing. I rented a refrigerator. I rented the stove. I rented everything and had it delivered. But I didn't think about the pickup. That was the drama.
The pickup. It's always
and
something.
I rented that so I didn't have to worry about the temperature and all that.
Right.
Because I thought, I could do this better. I could do this smarter. But I learned a lot. I didn't really make any money, but I learned if I wanted a booth, I know what to do.
Experience is the best teacher.
Experience is a thing. I thought we wanted a restaurant. That's a lot of work. That's standing on your feet every day. And what if you don't get no customers? I'm a talker. I feel like I'm going to get some customers. So I just think it's interesting. But we have a lot of food vendors that are going to be out there. A lot of great entertainment. Sade Champagne is in charge of all the
Sade.
Extremely proud of her. DJ Quick is our DJ. This man is, not only is he smart, he is gifted.
You said DJ Quick?
DJ Quick. Not DJ Quick. We call him DJ Quick, but he's not the DJ Quick.
Okay. I was like, what?
He does a lot for our youth in LA and Santa Barbara. It's just an amazing he's an amazing gift to our communities.
Okay. Shout out to him.
Yeah. So he's going to be doing the music, and then you've got the Juneteenth committee. It's co-chaired by Julia, Dixon, and Angela. And I'm just really happy to be part of it. They gave me an opportunity to MC, and I think we're going on a couple of years now. I don't know. This might be the 5th or 6th year that I have been the MC, and it is a blessing to be part of that. I think what really excites me more than anything is the fact that my mother used to come. And she'd be sitting in there, hey, Miss Carter. I'm like, oh my God, I'm working.
Yeah.
But I'm just happy to do that because it's in the community where I grew up in, and it gives me a lot of. It just makes it fills my cup to give back to this city, who embraced our family, and there was 9 kids, 9 kids, and it's just a blessing to be part of it.
So you said this has been going on for 30 plus years?
33 years. And the 35th year, they're going to really do it big time. Big time. I think they want to get the car clubs out there.
Oh,
they
yeah.
That's everything. I mean,
it's a good look.
I think what it is we're going through this shift. This is what I want to say. We're going through a shift. You've got these committee members that have been doing this for years. But now the transition is you got to bring in some younger youth that are more techie, they do things a little bit different. So where I used to fill out an application, these guys are doing things online with a QR code, boom, done. It's different. And I
think like that.
That's what the younger generation is doing, and with all the technology, the older generation they're embracing it, but it's something they're not comfortable with. But they're embracing it, and we're all learning as we go.
These young ones, they're getting organized. There was a few times where I was just driving down the street and saw 100 of the Fixie kids. And the oldest one had to be like 18.
And what were they doing?
They just riding their bikes.
That's beautiful.
They just riding their bikes. Just 100 kids riding their bikes. They ride to downtown Ventura, then they'll go ride to the collection and terrorize the collection. I shouldn't say terrorize, that's the wrong word, but they run amok. They're definitely out there. They doing wheelies and bar spins, and it's just, they're kids. And if the kids can get organized like that, and if we can find a way to get them to come to these events and show them that, hey, it's okay.
But you know what? If they're doing wheelies, why not come out and show them all the techniques that they can do on their bikes? That might be something entertaining. I don't know. But for me, I'm all about trying to keep us from getting, teaching them. I was downtown LA, and I finally saw the buildings that the guy tagged.
Oh yeah.
Downtown LA, and
yeah.
I said, this guy walked across on the tightrope. That was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that, but he did that.
But
I see it all the time.
I'm like, I was perplexed. Why would you do that? You could have really just been done.
He left his name somewhere. It's a LA staple now.
Yeah, it is.
And it's across from the Staples Center. Like,
I just was shocked. And you know what? It is what it is. But this is. I think more YouTubers want to get noticed for what their daredevil stuff. I heard something, and it was a guy did a stunt in a helicopter low to the ground with explosives on it, and he's on trial right now. He get 10 years for that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't need to go viral that bad. I do not need to go viral that bad.
You know, I'm gonna post this today. I had a friend of mine, Carlos. Shout out to Paul Medic Corporation. If you ever need a hospital bed or any equipment, that's my guy. And he was doing a training to share how easy it is to use a Hoyer lift. And I actually got in the bed, and they Hoyer lift me up and put me in a chair. And I'd never done that before, probably because I felt comfortable because I'm not as big as I was, right? So it was a real, like, I could see why people were afraid, but they did it. His equipment was just so comfortable. I was so comfortable, and it's 6 minutes, and I was like, I got to ask Julius, how do I speed it up a little bit so it's, not so long, but I still want to tell his story because he's making you feel comfortable about it. But I think I'll just post it on YouTube and let people watch it if they want to. How easy it is to use a Hoyer lift when you don't want your loved one sitting in the bed the whole time. The Hoyer, they have equipment out there to get them up so they can sit in a chair when they get tired, put them back in the bed.
I've seen one of my friends, a good friend of mine, Constance. She just, cause she does like caregiving. Mm-hmm. She's a human Hoyer lift.
You know what?
She's strong.
She's strong, but you know what? Sometimes people don't realize picking up a coffee cup, you can slip a disc, and you're done. And a lot of surgeries, a lot of pain. It's better to use the equipment, save your back. I don't care how old you are, how strong you are. It ain't worth it. In the end, use the equipment. I've seen a lot of nurses have a lot of surgery after. I think I can.
Y'all heard it. I don't know. This is my first time hearing about it, so y'all better listen.
I don't know nothing, but I'm not a nurse. You know what I am? I'm a communicator, and I connect people. I try to connect people together, and that's what I try to do. Like, I want to connect everybody to come to the Juneteenth 33 annual Juneteenth celebration downtown Oxnard.
Pull up.
Come up. Tell your friends. This is something. Do you know how many years? It just became a national holiday like 2 years ago. I think it was
something like that.
Like 2 years ago. And I was like, I don't even get this day off. Right, I don't get the day off.
It's on Friday.
It's Saturday, Juneteenth. I think
Saturday,
it's actually considered Juneteenth, like the 19th of June. But the banks are closed. The military gets the days off. Regular working folk in the private sector, we don't get that day
paid
off.
Holidays.
It ain't that holiday.
Ugh.
But I'm just glad to be part of it. And they work really hard to try to bring some amazing entertainment. They've got the Ventura College. I think I have a list, but I got to look at my phone. The Ventura College Jazz Band, Fundi is going to be there. He's doing his thing. They have they're gonna have a group of people. I'm trying to promote something. And I should have brought my paper because I don't have it in front of me.
Hey, it'd be like that.
But you know, I really feel like it's a missed opportunity if we don't get out there and support our community when they're having events like this, especially, you know, the mayor's coming out, the CEO, Savette Johnson. I think we're going to have Michelle Asocion. I always try to not mess up her name. She's our city clerk. She is our county clerk, and we're gonna have some people out there. I'm sure maybe Julia Brownlee, maybe Kathy Long, but these are dignitaries that come in. Our district attorney. These people come in. They take that time because it's an election year. They want to show our community that they're supporting all the cultures out there. They support the salsa festival. They support you know, the just different festivals that are out there. And I think it's important that we get out of the house, stop watching Law and Order, and
turn the Grey's Anatomy off,
yes,
please.
Yes, I've been watching something on Netflix.
Please.
I can't even think of it, but it was it was actually Netflix done had me hemmed up for a couple of days.
I'll turn Harry Potter off to come out. But this is what I like about the shows too. There, people will show up that you would not expect to be there. You know, I'll be like, oh, they're too cool or they're too big. Nah, they're pulling up. If it's in Oxnard, they're pulling up.
You know, you'd be surprised at how many celebrities live in this area, like Ojai. There's people right down in Ojai. There's people in Ojai that are celebrities because you know what? It's a quaint little town. They ain't got this. They're all kind of hippie, kind of. It's kind of that kind of town, but everybody's just chill. You know, it's like the country. Nobody's in a hurry. It's not like the city life.
Right.
They right down the street from the city.
Hustle and bustle.
Yeah. I think that's what makes it different for Ventura County. You've got Camarillo, Oxnard, Thousand Oaks, Calabasas, Kardashian, and
Kanye be at the cheesecake.
you know what? What's wrong with him?
Why
his woman? Okay, I just got to go there since you brought it up. Why he got her with no clothes on? You think there's obviously he's leading up to something that's going to be amazing.
He probably trying to sell. Exactly. He's trying to sell something amazing.
I'm like, okay, you think anybody gonna wear that outfit that looks like it's not on? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's marketing.
He's a different type of artist.
He's genius. He's a genius. But I'm like, why she ain't got no? I know she cold. I know she cold. I'm thinking she wearing these slingback shoes and ain't got no clothes on. I mean, who goes out with a pillow? I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, I had a little pillow the other day, and I'm thinking, if I had this little pillow just covering my boobs, I'm thinking, why?
That's a market right there. Everybody gonna look. Everybody gonna be like,
I ain't seen not one person.
Hey, look, look. I'm gonna go buy me one.
Wait, I ain't seen not one person walking the streets with the outfit on. I don't think anybody interested.
The only person I saw with Kanye's shirt with the holes on it, in it, back to my Harry Potter, this is what you call a callback, was Lil Elf, was Dobby from Harry Potter. He had the Yeezy shirt on. That's the only person I ever seen to wear that.
Well, you know, if somebody wear it on the show, they're going to have to pay him.
Oh, yes. Touche. That's a
why.
sponsor. And speaking of sponsors, I got a couple of sponsors that I would love to shout out.
Seriously? Let me know who you sponsoring so I can support.
So, my first sponsor, we got Midnight Vapors. They specialize in vapes. You know, they got the vapes, they got the juice, they got the mods, they got the batteries. They hold competitions. They also own their own candy brand called Snacks, SNAX. It's exotic candy. You know, they put the chamoy and the tahini and the lemon. You know, Mexicans, y'all put lemon on everything and salt. You know, so it's very exotic candy. Anything for the vapors out there. I don't want to say smokers because it's. They do have nicotine. They have the 0%, the 3%, the 6% and the 9%. And if you got big lungs, they do have those 12%. And they are located in Orange County, 714 Tell 'em in the Flow. Address is 12036 West Street in Garden Grove. Go check them out. Tell them Realquicctho sent you over there, and they will take care of you. My second sponsor, Bomb Body Collectives. They got me, I'm still on that cocoa brownie. Got me smelling good and silky. She makes the body bombs for the kids. If you have the infants or the toddlers, just so it's not too rough on their skin, it'll soothe them, calm them down, and put them to sleep. And if you are heavily tatted like myself, she does have a balm that will make your tattoos pop. It'll make it look fresh out the shop. You can find her on Instagram, you can find her on TikTok, and you can find her on Etsy. DM her, ask for your package, and she'll send it out to you. And they just got new labels, and I'm still waiting for my shipment so I can put it right here on this table. And last but not least, I'm sponsoring myself, Young Boss Life Clothing. Make sure you get you a t-shirt. Make sure you get you a tank top. I got hats. I'm not wearing it right now because, I try to represent everybody. Depending on the orders that come in, I will be working on some slides. And I got shorts. I got leggings. I got the joggers for the guys. And that's how we doing it.
So I'm curious about Young Black and
Young Boss Life.
Young Boss Life. Okay, tell me, could you give me a little bit about where that came from?
Yes. Okay, so I was in my apartment. It was me and one of my best friends named Paul. And I was working for my uncle. I was managing his window cleaning company. And I was in a position to hire. Whoever I wanted, if I felt that they were a strong enough candidate, I was able to bring them on, give them an opportunity for them to put some money in their pockets. I was doing the schedules. I was, there were some times where I would do the bids, just counting everything. And I was, 19 at the time? So I was 19, and I'm able to put my friends in positions to put money in their pockets. That's something that a boss does. And me and my buddy had our own place to live.
Wow.
So, and that's just how it happened. I'm living like a young boss. And then YBO, I'm gonna put it on a T-shirt, and then it just stuck.
I like it. I really do. When you tell the story behind it, it says that you have been an entrepreneur for a long time, right? That's what that is. A lot of people don't understand that.
I used to sell cigarettes.
And you know what? I ain't mad at you. I used to sell weed back in the day. But
that Julius Kush, y'all know
back
about
in the day
it.
when they used to have the little the scale was a little thing, and you were like, okay, is it working? Is it working? Is it working?
You got to put $1 on there to calibrate it. Come on, hey, real quick though. Hey, y'all know that Julius Kush, you know what I'm saying? I was doing $5.
Oh man, back in the day,
I took donations.
Yeah, that was when I was probably, I don't know, was I 18? I think I was 18, trying to make it. Then I learned to braid hair, and that's when I knew that was, easier to do. Yes, I'm so excited that you're going to be at the Juneteenth, and you're going to be. So, do you have like a banner?
I don't have a banner.
So, do you have a picture that?
Yes.
So if you get me a picture, I'll get you something.
Okay.
Give me a picture, and send me your QR code, and I'll have my friend set it up, and we'll have the banners inside she'll put some. We can zip tie it to the back.
Right.
And then people will be able to take a picture of it or what have you, and then they can sign up for your podcast and watch that around. You just send it to me and send me that, and I'll send it to my people.
I could do that. I can
and
definitely
we just,
do that.
there's no rhyme or reason what we're doing. You know what I like today is that we have access to have an opportunity to share this information with people.
Yes.
You have the best equipment out here, right? You can do this, and you know how to do it, and it looks good. And can you imagine having a booth with walls so you can control the environment, and you can just come in, anybody want to come in and do a commercial, and then let them know where they can find it.
See, the one time that I did it at a rap concert, and I just interviewed all the talent, and it worked. It worked beautifully.
Tell me how it worked. Tell me that.
So what they would do is, I had got everything set up. Me and Tina hooked it all up, got the table, put the monitor, and either before or after they went on stage, they came, they talked to me, and shout out to my boy Sav Dangerous. He's really talented rapper, and we would interview the talent, and I would after the interview after the show was done, I would go and I would edit it, and I would just put in their name and where to find them, and then it just worked.
And you launched it.
And we launched it, and then that was something that they were able to share with their people to let them know, like, hey, I'm really out here. I'm doing interviews. I'm getting booked for shows. Like,
and that honestly, that's what inspired me about the opportunity to do this. Because when we did the podcast, I said, I'm gonna see, can we get a table? And then I was like, well, what would I have at the table? And I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking he don't want to be out there all day. And then I was like, I'm gonna call Julius, and that was this morning, and I called you, and I was like, you know what? If we can put this together, all you need to do is show up. How many tables do I need in the booth? We'll have, 6 foot table. I have a table that you can use for your monitor. I have like 3 tables we can put in there and a couple of chairs. And I got big booty chairs. That means big booty chairs. Anybody
it's these right here.
Wait, no.
These.
Anybody they're folding chairs, but anybody 350 pounds or more can hit. You can sit in there. The weight limit is 350 pounds.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? So you never know.
So that makes it more personal because
so they can sit down and have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And being that, there's a lot of stuff going on, but being able to control that climate is what it is. That's why I was like, okay, I need to make sure. My sister's like, I got a pop-up tent. It's got, the canvas is black. I said, no problem. Well, I don't know. You're going to have to, no problem. I figure if you got a 10 by 10, you got a couple of chairs and a table, and you got a generator, man, it's on.
Yeah, it's already done.
It's done.
We'll have this outside.
And,
I've already done it
we
once.
I'm going to have some tablecloths, and we're going to keep it real and just have a conversation. And I think being able to have a conversation with people who don't normally get an opportunity to share their story, it don't have to be a long story. It could be 2 or 3 minutes.
It really doesn't.
You just talking, hey, tell me a little about your product. What was your why behind this?
Yeah.
If you ask those questions of people are going to be so grateful. And you know what? All you're asking for people to do is follow you.
Yeah, that's it. So because I want my followers to follow you too.
Yeah,
like it definitely
because
goes both ways.
I'm learning about this technology. It is unique. Someone said, people like to have podcasts where they watch. Well, I watch Jason Lee and he's funny, and then I watch I forget the guy. He was a football player, basketball player.
Oh, there's Draymond Green got one.
The guy with the hat. Draymond Green got one?
Yeah, Draymond Green, he got one.
Oh, I have to check him out because he's always in trouble.
Oh, no, Shay, he played football.
No, but
who's it? Shannon Sharp?
No, Shannon Sharp, but the guy with the football player with the hat, the cowboy hat. Oh, my God, I forgot. Is he a football player? I can't remember his name, but anyway.
Shaq got one.
But I want you to know that it's very important to have people who can actually, come through, make a decision, and do it. And the fact that you said, I guess if you calling me too, I should.
Yeah, because at first,
for the
Sade was like, "Here, be here, bring your stuff." And at first I was all like, all right, hold on. Let me look at it. And then I looked at it and then had to get back to life. And then I got your call and was like, all right.
So what I'm going to do is the guy who has the floor plan, I'm going to call him tonight because I didn't call him. And there's a meeting tomorrow night. And that's what I'm saying. They already knew because I already submitted the application today. Once I talked to you, I was like, boom, done.
Yeah, it's done. It's happening.
It's happening.
Tell them the date again.
The date is June 15th. From 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's the date. It's Saturday, next Saturday, not tomorrow. I'm not this weekend, but June 15th. And I'm so happy that Julius, a.k.a. Realquicctho, a.k.a. Black Truffle, a.k.a. Big Papa, a.k.a. doing it well and always supporting his wife and his kids. And I think that's amazing.
Have to. Oh, I know you saw. If you didn't see it, I gotta send it to you. So it was my middle step kid. He's been having a hard time. He's been going through it. Puberty is beating him up right now.
So is he 14, 15?
He's 15. He's 15.
I got a grandson. I understand.
What I did for him was I had a buddy of mine. He came and recorded, and he needed to use the bathroom. So I just kept the footage. I kept the tape rolling because he wanted to, like, let me get on just till he gets back. So I said, all right, come on. This was maybe 3 years ago. He's all little, and I asked him, I was like, how, you see what me and your mom are doing for you. How are you going to benefit from what we're doing for you, and how are you going to contribute that in the future? He wants to play football, and he wants to make music. And then he saw it, and it just kind of like brought him back to like, I did say I was going to do that, huh? And that was just my way of letting him know that no matter what you're going through, we don't care how bad it gets, because it's gotten pretty bad. We always going to be here for you. And this right here is going to be able to show you. Like, we can go back. We can go years back, and you can see that the love has always been there and the support has always been there. You're going to make some crazy choices, but we still here for you till this day.
So one of the things I've been doing, Julius, is I've been going to Oxford High School doing TED Talks. I call it a TED Talk. The talk is about my life and the choices that I made, challenges, struggles, obstacles that I went through, and from the, early age until where I am now, I'm 58. Sharing that information with these kids, the feedback, the last 2 years, I got a stack of letters thanking me, making me feel amazing. What made me feel amazing is they talked about my courage. They couldn't imagine being their age and having to take care of a kid 24/7. And he said, I think you're onto something. Keep telling these stories. I told the story 50 minutes, 50, 3 classes, and then I did the Black Student Union for about 10 minutes. I was grateful. What it did, it made me understand. It made me look back where I was and where I am today, and I am so grateful. I think we make a lot of choices and we don't know why we make them, but we do. I'm just glad the choices that I made. I mean, I remember, this is stupid, but I'm going to tell you this. I remember making some tacos, and we didn't have no taco shells. I went to the store to buy some taco shells, but I looked at the taco shells, and I looked at my purse and said, well, shit, they 35 cents. I'm going to steal these. And I stole them, and I saw a girl walking out the store. I was like, hey, girl, how you doing? They were like, ma'am, you need to come back in the store. I got caught stealing 35 cents worth of corn tortillas, and the tacos was at home waiting for me to get there, and they called my dad. And now I was thinking, why did I do that? Because I thought I could. That was a choice that I thought I could do, even though I knew it was wrong. That was, I must have been maybe 17. I had to be between the ages of 16 and 17. It was the stupidest thing I ever did, but I learned from that. What I learned is that I didn't have to do that, but I did it because I thought I could get away with it. And that's what I think is happening with our youth. They do things because they think they can get away with it, even though they know it's wrong, right? But that's what we do, that's how we grow as individuals. And then you realize that, oh, I should have never did that. I mean, can you imagine you doing something like that and it scars you for the rest of your life? Like, what if I went to jail, right? It would have been,
it can get
on my
real
record.
really fast.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's these little things, it's the choices that we make. I stopped drinking in 2022, and I have to tell you, I'm glad I stopped drinking because, I could see clearly on the things that, you want to be like, I'm 18. Oh, I can't wait till I get 20, 21 and give me a drink. Oh, I can't wait till I get 25. All of a sudden, I'm damn 50, wondering, what the hell did I do? What the hell did I do? So now I'm at this point in my life, I want to make a difference. I want to give back to the youth. I have some ideas for nonprofits to raise money for kids. Your kids are in sports, and it's killing you to put them in football because it costs you $1,000.
Yeah, it's
My friend
up
told
there.
me she put her daughter in cheerleading, son in football, and it was over $1,000. And then my daughter my grandson is in basketball, and the other one's she's in cheer, and she's playing another sport, softball. And I said, I'm so excited. And then I told the other grandparents, well, it looks like we have to do some fundraisers. And that's really what it's about.
That's real, though.
But you know what? When my kids were going to school, my sister played volleyball. They had club volleyball. It cost so much money to be part of club, but there were companies sponsoring these kids to keep them out of trouble.
Right.
My sister got a full ride scholarship to LSU. My daughter got a full ride to Cumberland, Kentucky. I have another friend that my brother got a full ride scholarship to play football, but it's because they stayed focused in sports. Some people don't have to be in sports; they can be intellectual, and they can get it. So
We
one
got
of the
one
kids
of
that I
those too.
talked to, get this, one of the kids that I talked to, 16 years old, filled out an application for a leadership academy that I told him about. Out of all the 100 and something kids, he was the only one that did it. He got in the program. For 7 days, he went to Northridge and stayed there in the dorms and learned all this stuff. When he came back, he basically said, I changed his life. It wasn't me. I just gave him the information.
He just
had
made
it
that
already.
choice.
He made
Yeah.
the choice to do it, and he did it. And guess what? This year, he got a full ride to Berkeley.
See, come on, man.
I so impressed with this young man. When I did I did a fundraiser, he was my keynote speaker because he could talk the talk about the experience that he had. And when I got a copy of the letter his mother wrote to the dean at Northridge, I got a copy of it. It said, some woman came to my son's class and gave him some information on this thing. It was the best sentence I ever read because I felt like that one person was touched by that conversation that I had. And I looked at him, he was so tall. I assumed he was a basketball player. He's like, no, I'm not. He had books this big, and it was all about physics and calculus and all that stuff that I know nothing about. And to see where he's going now, I asked him what he wanted to do. He said he really wanted to change the world. He came back and became the accountant for Sleep Out Ventura. He volunteered his time. And you know what else he did? He started a financial literacy class, a program at Oxnard High School. I was so impressed.
Yeah, that's
Nobody teaches financial literacy.
No,
And
nobody
I would
teaches
hope
that.
that they take this program and they could implement it in other high schools because it's not just that school is benefiting from it or anyone else that's involved, but if we can get more and more youth to understand that, they would never get in credit card trouble. It's easy to get in credit card trouble.
Yeah, it's super easy to spend money you don't have.
Oh my God.
It's
And then
easy to
you're
spend money.
I'm like,
people-
what happened to this credit card? It was zero. But after you swipe a couple times, next thing
Yeah.
you know, it's easy.
8,000.
But
Like,
you know what they
it's-
always said? Do not spend money you don't have. If you got it, spend it. Cash. Don't use the plastic. That's for emergencies.
Yeah, I've been my uncle, he has drilled me on financial literacy. So I get it, and I do apply a lot of what he taught me.
That's good.
You know, and this is a man who's Grammy nominated, and he's one of those kids that was just good at everything that he touched. Like he's doing backflips and all. You know, the one kid that could do the backflip, landed first try. He's one of those.
Dang.
But to bring it back to your kid that you were speaking on.
His name is Jackson Wright.
See, okay, boom. So this is the thing, and I really want him and my oldest stepson Christian, because Christian, he's up there. He's like that. He's getting recognition from the mayor. He's getting recognition from the superintendents, and he actually got to speak on live television about different BSUs and going to HBCUs, and he got to do the tour. And I really wanted him and Jackson to meet. And come to find out, me and Jackson's dad hang out all the time.
Are you serious?
We hang out all the time at the yard house. I had no idea. Like,
oh, because he lived in a collection.
yeah, I had no idea.
Well,
Like,
you know what? That is so impressive. Did I ever meet his dad? I don't know. I might have.
brawly dude with the beard.
You know what? I did meet him.
Yeah,
I did meet him.
super
I think I
chill.
met him at Levity because he came to a comedy show.
He's very well spoken. He's a good dude to look up to. He's a real good dude to look up to.
I tell you, I had girls, so to find a young man that I could have a conversation with, that was kind of expressing where he wanted to go and what he wanted to do was interesting. And then one day I had coffee with him, and I said, I want to talk to you about me, because he had great ideas. And he said, Miss Carter, and he hesitated. And I'm like, well, what? Well, I said, I have all these things I want to do. And you know what he said to me? And I will never forget it. He said, and I said, what? Say it. He said, you spread yourself too thin. It was the most, it was the best conversation I could have ever had with someone who understood the assignment. I wanted to have a conversation with him because I was trying to explain to him all the things that I wanted to do, and I wanted to put forth the effort in. But if I spread myself so thin, I couldn't accomplish anything. And that's what I got out of the conversation I needed to do. And we had a little chart of all the things that I needed to do. First I needed to do was slow down. So that's, one of the things, like I'm not going to overextend myself. I'm not going to do that. Right now I'm focused on the Juneteenth. That's what I'm doing the next 2 weeks. Juneteenth. And that's what I have to remember. We all tend to do it. I'm always saying yes, but you know what? I have to learn to say, let me think about it. Mm-hmm. No is a complete sentence. It's okay to say no. My aunt passed away, and I wanted to go to her service, but I knew I really couldn't afford to do it, and I really couldn't do it because I had too many irons in the fire. And I was so guilty for not going. And my brother said to me, everybody wanted to know, where you at? Where you at? Where is she at? Where's she at? She coming? She coming? She coming? I couldn't do it. But you know what? A week before she passed away, I got to FaceTime her, and I was talking trash. Lady, what you doing in the hospital? I ain't even got all the recipes yet. I need the recipe to the strawberry cake. I was just talking.
Just good old talk.
And we talk trash, me, her, and Wills, and my sister and her grandson. And later on that day, she didn't talk to anybody. She got put on a ventilator, and she never got a chance to talk to anybody again. And that was the blessing. And so I have to be grateful and remember that blessing, because that's something that nobody else had an opportunity to do. I did that. And I emceed her 90th birthday party last year, so I was grateful.
Hey, see? Crazy how it works out.
I had to, count your blessings, right? That's what they say, count your blessings. I'm grateful, that we got a chance to get together today and talk about the Juneteenth, talk about real quick, though, Black Truffle, Young Black and Living, Young Black and...
Hey, I'm hanging with the Carters, Hey,
you know what? That's what I'm talking about.
Shoot, I'm hanging with the Carters, and we about to hang with the Carters some more.
I cannot
Juneteenth.
wait. I cannot wait until we get out there on Juneteenth and let people see what you're capable of doing.
People like lights, camera, action.
All I'm gonna say is I'm literally, thinking you should have a sign-in sheet of people who want to do a commercial about their business. Most commercials are, 30 seconds, 2 minutes. People want to do a commercial about it. I think real quick though, that's what I'm thinking. I don't really know. You do whatever you want to do, but we got a spot, and I think it's time to let the people in our culture and other people in the community know what's out there.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do. I can promise you that. Like, I don't know how I do it. A lot of people don't know how I do it, but once the camera's cut on and there's people there, and even if you're like shy, this is my first time, don't even worry about it. I'm going to get you right. And then they catch a bug and they want to do it again.
But you know what? I think that's what it is. We see, like on YouTube, there's so many different platforms, right?
There's a ton of them.
So many different podcasts. I don't know. To me, I call it a radio station, right? That's what I'm thinking. But I think about the opportunity, bringing people into the 21st century. This will be the first time they're streaming from the Juneteenth ceremony. Imagine you starting doing this now. Next year, it could be something even bigger. That the whole time you're streaming it. Imagine that. Brought to you by Black Truffle. Oh, real quick though. Or Young, you should bring your
I'm trying to bring some merch out.
If you got some merch out there, you should bring your merch, and
I'm gonna see what I can do.
And put it on display. I mean, why not? Wear the shirt. I need a shirt hanging with the Carters, huh?
Hey. It can definitely be done. All right, well, we gotta get on up out of here before they come and kick us out.
You know what? Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Every time. This is your show too. Every time.
Thank you so much. I am grateful. I'm honored, and I feel so blessed to have you as a little brother.
Hey, we do likewise. One more time. Hey, Juneteenth. You promoted better than me.
So Juneteenth celebration, 33rd annual Juneteenth celebration coming to you, downtown Oxnard, June 15th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's going to be food, there's going to be games, there's going to be music, there's going to be jazz, there's going to be poetry. There's going to be, I got to give a plug to my brother Cedric, who's doing Freedom 805.
Yeah.
Yeah, he going to do it because that man, he knows how to project, and I'm really proud of him. Juneteenth,
right.
We'll see you there. Thank you real quick for having us. We appreciate it. And
Every
don't forget,
time.
if you ever think about listening to a podcast, think about hanging with the Carters. Hanging out with the Carters. You can find it on Spotify.
Yeah, be ready. Hey, please be on the lookout for that because it's first episode is out. First episode is out already. So go tune in.
I got to give a shout out to my producer, Phil Medina. Thank you.
Big Phil.
Yep.
On that note, you guys know how I get down. You know what it is over here. Yak Quiz. There's never any sunsets over here. We always shining. And you can't fall if you don't trip.
I love that.
Peace.
All right. Hey, you know what?